Focused, Tayla Harris at Optus Stadium. Daniel Carson, Docker Matilda Sergeant went off with a suspected concussion in what was yet another blow for the team without a legion of their key players. Demon Alyssa Bannan finished a clean passage of play, as Melbourne remained 34 points up at half-time. The Dockers trailed by 40 uncontested possessions and 15 inside 50s. Pearce continued the Demon destruction, with Bannan assisting the 33-year-old to her third goal, which saw the avalanche take shape. Hore added to her tally before Pearce went again. Sherriff booted one assisted by Karen Paxman, who then slotted two in a row. Fremantle were visibly demoralised as they struggled to protect their percentage. Melbourne's Lily Mithen dominated in the midfield with 20 disposals, 9 handballs and 3 marks by three-quarter time. Melbourne led by 77 points into the final term, the third quarter ranking as the highest scoring quarter in AFLW history. Hore found another and Fremantle finally responded with one off the boot of Hayley Miller. Harris became the league's top goal kicker, slotting two to then see Melbourne become the first ever AFLW side to score 100 points. A silver lining for the Dockers was debutant Maggie McLachlan, who booted her first goal in the dying moments. Maggie McLachlan celebrates a goal. Paul Kane, Melbourne now sit first on the league ladder. If Adelaide defeat Collingwood on Sunday, the top spot for this round will be decided on percentage. Goals: Melbourne, D. Pearce, Harris, Hore, Scott, Bannan, Sherriff, Paxman. Fremantle, Tuhakarina, Miller. Best: Melbourne, Mithen, Hanks, McNamara, D. Pearce, Purcell, West, L. Pearce, Paxman, Gay. Fremantle, East, Miller, Veria, Kane, Runnels, Stewart, Strom. Injuries: Melbourne, nil. Fremantle, Matilda Sergeant. Richmond show depth of forward line, with win over Giants. Richmond silenced the Giants on their home turf in a 5-goal avalanche during the first quarter on Saturday evening. With both teams out of finals contention, arguably attributable to player unavailability across the season, they were seeking to finish on a high. The Tigers were off the back of a loss to Geelong last round, while the Giants had fallen to Carlton. Cora Staunton of the Giants passes under pressure. Mark Kolb. It was all Richmond from the first bounce. The Tigers had 35 to 25 contested possessions and capitalised on turnovers effectively. Richmond showed the depth of their forward line with 5 separate goal kickers, including captain Katie Brennan, and laid it on thick to a spellbound Giants outfit. Tessa Lavey ran one through on the first siren to leave a 31-point margin at the first break. Tessa Lavey left in action. Mark Kolb. The Giants knew they needed to change something and came out firing, getting one off the boot of Emily Pearce in the second term. A bump with Jess Hosking saw Alice Parker ruled out with concussion, meaning the key Giant won't return for the remainder of the season. Loading Giant Brid Stack announced her newly found position in the forward line with her first major, to reduce the margin to 19 at half-time. Former Magpie Christina Bernardi slotted one for the Tigers, closely followed by Katie Brennan, as they extended the margin to 31 points. As the intensity grew, Monique Conti dominated with 19 disposals and 11 handballs at the final break. Cora Staunton got the Giants a third major and opened the floodgates, as she dribbled another through in quick succession. Teammate Rebecca Privatelli followed to narrow the margin to 13. They weren't finished. Staunton booted her third goal in the quarter to narrow the margin to just 7 points. Brennan attempted a goal, but only found a minor, and the Giants' race against the clock saw the Tigers still ahead on the siren. Richmond 5.25.37.37.4D. GWS 0.12.22.26.2 goals. Richmond, Keeley, Brennan, Shevlin, Wakefield, Lavey, Bernardi, Brennan. GWS, Pearce, Stack, Staunton, Privatelli. Best: Richmond, Conti, Dempsey, S, Hosking, Shevlin, Lavey, Miller. GWS, Beeson, Barr, Dalton, Eva, Staunton, Lister, Stack, Zraker. Injuries: Richmond, Sarah Darcy. GWS, Alice Parker. Saints celebrate second consecutive win, hold Cats goalless. St Kilda celebrated back-to-back wins for the first time in their history, doubling Geelong's score in breezy conditions at RSEA Park on Saturday afternoon. St Kilda's Caitlin Greiser celebrates a goal. Darien Trainer. The scrappy match began with a moment of silence to honour St Kilda fan and Australian sporting icon Shane Warne, who died on Friday, continuing a poignant week at Moorabbin following the opening of the Danny Frawley Centre for Health and Wellbeing. Both sides entered the clash off a win, with Geelong defeating Richmond and St Kilda beating the Gold Coast in what was their first victory of the season. The Saints on Saturday made 2 changes after losing Rhiannon Watt to an ACL injury. Leah Cutting and Jade Van Dyke were recalled, while the Cats were without Olivia Barber after a head knock last week. It was a stalemate in the first quarter when Geelong had 9 inside 50s to the Saints 6, but neither side managed a major, with 6 consecutive behinds in total. Kate Shearlaw got the Saints on the scoreboard just before the first siren, following 2 denied marks. Leah Cutting and Rebecca OTT in action during round 9. A clean set shot off the boot of Caitlin Greiser put the Saints 12 points up in the second term, as teammate Tilly Lucas-Rod dominated around the centre clearance, and had 9 kicks and 14 disposals by half-time. The Cats were still searching for their first goal in the third, and had ample opportunity, but couldn't get their aim right. The Saints have been at the bottom of the clearance count all season, but were leading it as they took a 12-point lead into the final change. St Kilda led 24-8 in clearances, Lucas-Rod with 11 of those, as well as 19 disposals and 14 contested possessions. The Cats have been known for their final quarter scoring this season and were leading inside 50s, but they were only managing behinds and ended the day goalless, 9 points behind the home side. St Kilda 1.22.52.6 Geelong 0.30.30.60.9 goals. St Kilda, Shearlaw, Greiser. Geelong, 0.